Hang on, I'll go put my makeup on. There we go. Right, now we're live.
Hello, everyone.
See, I made an effort. Well, I guess you're a scummy scouser, so you'll do the lister part.
I didn't have an H around.
Yeah, I had to cut this out and sellotape it myself. Well, no BBC props here. This isn't no expense spared.
It probably cost more than the one Vimmer actually used in the show, to be fair.
The first season, yeah. Because you got, well, I guess was it season 3 onwards? They've got different sets, they got different costumes, and you had a hologram sticker. But that is what we're talking about tonight. We are talking about Red Dwarf.
The early years.
There's number 1.
Yeah, it's all coming back to me now.
Oh, there you go.
That's the same cover. But no, I was going to say, it was with the VHS, was there just the one cover? Did they do different versions, or was it because that's the cover I
know. They remastered them in the late 90s.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah, no one liked it apparently. They CGI'd the beginning and intro and stuff. And then
it goes against what Red Dwarf was meant to be. It was meant to be a piss take on shows like Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea and old Star Trek. You know, it was meant to look cheap. It was meant to look, tacky, and that was my big problem. We'll get to that, but why 7 just was a big failure to me, and that's why I ended at 6. Really, 7 just burnt me. I did watch 8.
I can't remember much past 7 or 8.
I've not watched anything. I've not watched anything that was on Dave. I've not watched anything that was on Dave. Because everything after 8 went to Dave, didn't it? Which just seemed like a really odd decision to make, I thought. For such an established show.
Yes, I guess it was.
It's like, who's watching Dave, really?
Because apparently I watch other stuff. But with echoes in the house. Hello, Smeghead. See, an American that understands the lingo. What is a Smeg?
I know what it means. Yeah, I've kind of. I know it never really meant that in the show, but like when you think of when I was a kid, smegma was just you can like come to your own conclusions about what. You frozen, Gareth?
Yeah.
You frozen, Gareth? Are you freezing? Is it me? You're freezing.
Up. Heel boy. There we go. Am I back in the room?
You froze again.
Am I back?
You're okay now. You're okay now. You're okay now.
Fuck's sake. If I wave constantly, then we'll know. Right. It's the school holidays. Everyone's at home watching TV and streaming, so it's not my fault. So, what are we doing? So, I got a quiz for you then. Which actors appeared in all the episodes?
Cat and Lister?
Yes.
Yeah, because remember, obviously left partly through. He wasn't in all of Series 8, I don't think.
No.
I think he left. Did he leave halfway through Series 7 and come back halfway through Series 8? Or did he come back in the very first episode of Series 8?
He was. I can't remember. Yeah, there's so much information. I got confused. He did leave. He was doing the British Empire, which was very popular to that then.
It was shit, but it was popular.
It was popular.
It was all.
I liked him in that. I didn't like anyone else.
No.
But he was doing that, so he didn't have much time for Red Dwarf. And then, he said, I'll only do a couple of episodes, and then he persuaded him to do like 4 out of the 8. And then a couple of those were flashbacks and stuff like that.
Was Series 7 around about 97, 98? 98?
This is where it gets confusing. So the first episode was 15th of February, 1988.
Series 6 ended in 93, and I remember that much, I think.
Yes. 97, it came back. Why is it in Spanish? Or Esperanto or something. But yeah, came back in 97. There was a reason for that, was Craig Charles had been was it arrested or imprisoned for grape soda, and then they had to wait till that was sorted out when he was found not guilty, apparently. So there we go.
Yeah, he got in trouble again. He got in trouble a few years later for it. He was in the back of a taxi. Was he smoking? Was he doing drugs or something? I can't quite remember.
Oh, I seem to remember something about that. It
yeah,
wasn't this, so it didn't affect Red Dwarf. But and then what was it? Season 8 or 9? Was it 3-part episode? Was 3 hour-long episodes that were cut up?
8 was a normal series of like 6 to 8 episodes. It was at series 9, I think, was when it started doing the. That's when it went to Dave, I think.
Okay, yeah. Back to Earth, yes. That was a soft reboot.
Yeah.
Because Rimmer's replaced. Yeah, this is getting confusing already. What's Echo got? See, they were airing this in the US back in the 90s, it and Blackadder. But Blackadder didn't catch on as much as Red Dwarf. I can imagine that. There's more fans of sci-fi than there are of history.
Yeah, I suppose it depends. I mean, if he's talking about the entire Blackadder series or just Blackadder the First, I don't know, because obviously each Blackadder is completely separate from.
Yeah, if you
the original Blackadder, because the original Blackadder I hated.
Yeah,
I know you said you're not a fan.
There was bits of it I laughed, but
yeah, I think 2's better than 1, 3's better than 2, and I think 4's the best of the lot. But...
yeah, I think I summed up. Good. Hello, Sean. How are you? And we will sing "Happy Birthday" to Sean. Happy birthday! Oh no, it's licensed. I can't do that. Happy birthday to you.
Is it really licensed that you get?
We could sing Claire Grogan's "Altered Images." Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
Yeah, I forgot that was her.
Because
that song's famous, but I never really associate her with it. I knew she was in a band, but I never realized that was their song.
So the original Kachansky, who's only in 4 episodes of the first 2 seasons, I think it is. But yeah, she made more of an impact than the other character.
Yeah, she went from being English from being Scottish to English. She was hot as hell. That Kachansky though from the season 7, she was she was gorgeous. I don't know where she went, what she did afterward. Well,
she was only in 15 episodes, which is I thought she was in a lot more. But there's a lot of TV work she's done. That looks like.
Yeah, I had a serious crush on her when I was in my younger days.
The posh birds.
Yeah.
I thought, yeah, people have told me that, but who's going to take the risk? Thank you for the song. The mic should have played the keyboard. Oh yeah, he's got a whole setup there. He could.
Yeah, it's freaking not mine, but you know.
Oh, okay.
Real deal.
We can't do Ebony and I.
It's actually a digital piano, not a keyboard.
Oh, sorry.
It's weighted keys and everything. It's got pedals.
Came out of the back of an Argos van.
Well, it was heavy. Yeah. fell off the back of a wagon.
Oh, see. Reading movies preferred Claire Grogan. He likes a bit of rough.
It's a bit harsh on Claire Grogan.
No, I do like Claire Grogan. She's very, very pretty. When did you first see this? Because I saw it when it first came out, I guess February '88, when it was on BBC 2 at 9 p.m.
No, I got on board with it, I think, at the end of Series 2. I remember it wasn't Series 1, because with it being, I suppose, the first series, it takes a while to gain a bit of traction. And so I kind of it just passed me by. With it being a BBC 2 show as well.
Too posh for you.
BBC 2. That was strictly BBC 1 and ITV. Yeah, so I think it was probably may have been.
I guess it would be repeated.
It might have been. Yeah, it might have been the end. Like the last couple of episodes of series 2 is when I sort of got on board of it, and then obviously you can't go back and just watch series 1 at that time because they weren't repeating it. So I think I probably had to wait until I got it on VHS then to see the first series. But after series 2, series 3 onwards, I was always like, and I always distinctly remember. I think it might have been around about series 4, series 5, or series 3 and series 4. It would air. I think it would air at 8:30 and be right before Twin Peaks.
Oh,
if I remember right, I'm sure that Twin Peaks used to air. Twin Peaks always aired at 9:00, and this is around 1991. So
yeah.
I'm sure Red Dwarf. Was it a Tuesday or a Thursday night? I'm sure it was either a Tuesday or a Thursday night. It used to air.
Yeah, that sounds right. I can't remember myself.
And I'm sure Twin Peaks aired like after it. It was either, and I always remember these used to replay MASH after Red Dwarf as well.
All right.
I always used to remember MASH being on like around like 9:00 in the early 90s on BBC Two.
Yeah, I used to watch MASH a lot. I didn't get half the jokes, but
no, I never was never my. I don't think I was a bit before my time as well, really, in terms of when it. Well, I mean, when it originally, I mean, it's the 70s, early 80s,
well, yeah,
in it. So
it was hard to get copies if you missed an episode because it was late 90s. Running it did the VHS
robot again.
Ebony and Ivory. I'm game.
Yeah, who's Ivory? Who's Ebony?
You got any shoe polish?
Ooh. That's what sort of way to get cancelled.
To clean your shoes, what I meant. Reading movies. I watched series 2 when he was 11, 12. Better Than Life was the first episode. Didn't get all the jokes, but I got them as I aged. That's another thing. There was a lot of humor that went over my head those days.
Yeah.
What would I have been? I would have been 88, 15 when it came out, or 14, going on 15. So, about the right age for the level of humor.
See, series 1 as well. It's just going back over some of the episodes, but the way I would have liked to see an entire first series of the entire ship, the entire cast from the first episode, with the ending of episode 1 being the ending of episode 6. Because I really like, the Peterson and Shen and Captain Hollister. I like the cast of characters. They've got a really good cast of characters there, and they could have really made a really good series.
I know they've
for one, and then they could
flashbacks occasionally.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
But it was good. Yeah, to see what they were like.
But I mean, that's not like to rip on the first series. It's got some great episodes. The cat, series 1 doesn't really do a lot, does he? He literally turns up for a couple of scenes, makes a few, just talks about his clothes and then disappears again.
He's mostly eating.
And then he slowly becomes his own character. And by series 6, he's kind of developed this sense of smell, which is never mentioned in the first 5 series.
Yes, of course. I thought that
just got thrown in. It's from what I can remember. In the first 5 series, that wasn't a thing, and then in series 6, he can smell trouble, and I'm like, well, where was this in the? They're just randomly thrown that one in.
Apparently, the cat's pink suit from the first series was copied from an old black suit that belonged to his dad. Then he got married in it. His dad got married in it.
Of course, just noticing on Confidence and Paranoia, you've got Craig Ferguson.
I didn't know that. I said doing his American accent.
Yeah.
What do you think of the first Crichton?
I didn't like him. I like he's okay. I don't like him. I mean, he's okay. But obviously, maybe because he only had 1 episode, but
he did only have 1 episode. And he was a bit of a crazy.
I like the sort of I like because Crichton's meant to be playing what apparently he said was a posh Canadian, whereas this guy's just playing a posh Englishman. Yeah, whereas this guy's
tried other accents like Swedish and stuff, but to settle on posh Canadian. So
he doesn't say a boot.
Because well, apparently the original Crichton actor couldn't come back when it was a main character because he was doing a play, so it was recast. But he does play a part in 2 other episodes as a different character. Do you know what character he plays?
I do not know.
No, I would have never known. It's Talkie Toaster.
Oh, right, yeah. Okay.
But yeah, he's got a completely different.
I mean,
voice,
I didn't know it was going to be a toad. I thought you meant like Adelaide plays someone. It's like at least a humanoid. I didn't think.
Yeah. Well, while I got this pile of VHS in the way, so now there's one of these. They were all PG episodes, apart from one.
I know which one you mean.
Which one is it?
Well, every series on 1 to 6 is a PG, apart from series 3 because of Polymorph, because he says twat. And I can do it in list. I say we get out there and twat it. I know. Say let's get out there and twat it, because you'd be able to buy the t-shirt. So that one word gave it. I'm assuming that one word gave it the 15.
I think it's that. Yeah, I think it was that. It definitely was.
Because you couldn't have. You wouldn't be able to have twat in a PG, but you could have twat in a 12. But
well, how much are you saying it's not?
I haven't said that actually. Haven't said that. When did, because 89 was when we first got the 12 certificate, but 12 didn't become a thing on VHS for a few years, did it?
No, because
didn't Batman when Batman was released on VHS, did they go down to a PG or
no? It's still a 15 on VHS.
Right, so it was a 12 in the cinema and then went up to 15 on VHS. Yeah, because I remember. I was thinking that. I was thinking, because I was thinking like, it wasn't, the 12's been around for like 34 years now, but obviously those VHS movies in the early 90s were still getting a PG or a 15, and there was. So what was the first 12 VHS then?
Well, fuck those.
I thought you might know that. When did they get rid of the 12 certificate and make it 12A? Because
they never got anymore. No, it still exists. There has never been a film that they've won a 12, because they always think it needs a 12A. So technically, the 12 is redundant. And
is PG redundant now as well?
No, I'm working on a video of the certificates, because 12 and 12A are banded together, but it's only a 12A because 12A means a 12-year-old with an adult can go, but 12 means you have to be over 12 full stop.
Yeah.
But then PG still exists. They don't make films for PGs anymore. So let's have a look. Oh, I'm way behind now. Now, there we go. There's a very interesting point. The show suffered when Rob Grant left. So that's why 1 to 6 is the best, and then he left, and 7th, and etc. suffered. But he said he'd done it all. There's not much left in him to keep carrying on. So he parted ways.
Have you got any of the books?
No, I almost picked some up last few months, but I never did.
I've got one in the loft, and I should have got it. I should have tried to find it, because what they do in the books, or the one I've got at least, they kind of merge the episodes into like a story. So it's kind of like they take elements of the episodes and then merge them into a new story. Which is quite interesting. That's I think it was backwards. I'm sure it's backwards.
Yeah, there's backwards.
I might have had 2. I think I got rid of one years ago, but
yeah, I should have picked them up in the charity shops. I've been seeing them recently. Luke, films unboxing. Can't beat Red Dwarf. They have done a Blu-ray release for that. Just in time. When's that out? I'll send you a pic. Oh, so yeah, Pricky sent me this. So he's obviously invested in it. How many seasons is it now? I can't remember what we said now.
About 11 or 12.
Yeah.
I've got it on me. I've got
Batman went from 12 to 15 again.
Just 12 and a special. I've got it on my the iPlayer up on my phone to remember the episodes. Just like a handy sort of. Yeah, so 12 and a special.
Sexy Ricky. Okay. 12 and a special. Yeah, because I don't know if I've even seen the very, very latest.
I just don't like seeing him so old. It's like And it's the thing about the latest ones as well. It's like the whole idea of the cat was always this vain, sort of like meant to be, he saw himself as good looking, and he saw himself as good looking. Whether you think he was is beside the point, but he saw himself as like gorgeous and immaculate. Now, you kind of really, when you see him now as like a 60-year-old man, it's kind of, you can't be that same character, really. I mean, I don't know if he still tries to play that character. There's a joke in series 6, at the very last episode of series 6 before the big gap, where they're alternative.
Oh, yes.
And he's bald, and he's distraught the thought and all that, and he's old and
the comb over.
The real cat, like Danny John Jules. I'm assuming it probably is bald now, and so he's literally is that character.
But well, was it Chris Barry's been wearing a toupee hairpiece for the episodes? I think from the last few seasons, apparently.
Yeah, you could see Chris Barry's hair starting to recede quite a lot over the last 15, 20 years. So I mean, even even with Creighton, even though Creighton's got the suit on and the mask, you can see he's visibly older, and you can see that he's like an older guy, and it's just like he's wearing a fucking suit and he's prosthetics, but
he can cover it as much as he can. But
you can still see that he's
yeah, aging's a bit. So I've got the remastered one to season 3, which are very unpopular because, like you say, the nasty CGI they added, because apparently they had a model of the Red Dwarf ship up until the 6th season or 5th season, because what's it, the 6th season,
they haven't got the one where
they haven't got Red Dwarf. They've lost it because they blew it up. They blew up the model in the end of season 5, and then because they were going CGI down then.
I didn't like I like series 6. I prefer the one thing that lets me down for series 6 is like I like Red Dwarf as a plot device, using that. Just having them on Starbuck. I mean, obviously they spend most of the time off Starbuck, but series 6, you can kind of see, even though they've got good, the basic plot for the episodes is good, but they're starting to like really stretch themselves with some of the jokes. You can see like some of the jokes come across as a bit almost like what you get in something like The Big Bang Theory or Friends, and some atrocious American sitcoms, like that.
Yeah, I shit like that.
Where it's kind of the joke's set up and it's just delivered, and it feels, some of those jokes just feel a little bit forced in series 6 that I didn't get in the first 5.
Yeah,
that was just kind of the beginning of a downward spiral for it, but I still think that the general plots for series 6 are well done. It's still entertaining, it's imaginative, but it's just the actual jokes don't land. The jokes don't land on some of the occasions.
Yeah, you got Sirens as episode 1, Legion episode 2, Gunman of the Apocalypse season episode 3, Emo Hawk Polymorph 2, episode 4, Rimmer World season 5, episode 5, sorry, and then Out of Times episode 6. But and then that was it for 4 years. Yeah, then it's
felt like an eternity that when it finished.
It did. I got
when's it coming back? What's got, because it left leave it on a cliffhanger, obviously. Where Rimmer obviously shoots
they blew it up.
But and then I thought this isn't coming back. This is it. And then finally came back and was like, what have they done? Just like, what is going on?
Yeah, because the first episode of season 7 is the Ticket to ride, where they go back to Dallas and stop the assassination of Kennedy, and then a lot of episodes I don't remember.
I honestly can't remember a single episode from series 7.
Yeah.
No. Series 8, I can remember like
at the list. I remember it's Donald Rimmer. That bit about. Oh, hang on. I'm way behind. Echo is beautiful. Everyone is was it Brave and Beautiful on my channel, especially Mike.
Stunning and brave. Stunning, brave, and beautiful.
That's him. Oh, it's only one of seasons 1 to 8 on the Blu-ray set. Is that a licensing issue? There you go. He's got this little man will have the books. He's got Infinity Welcomes Careful Drivers, which was the first one. Great background stories of the characters. Better on Life, and then both the animation of episodes plus extra scenes. There you go. Thank you. Yeah, seasons 4 to 5 definitely were peak.
Oh, Dave's just let me down for tonight's stream. He's working.
Oh, he's just suddenly working, is he? Swinging his handbag around the streets of the Isle of Man. Let's see what street corner he's on. They wanted to do an American remake. Yeah, they did do a pilot episode that is on YouTube. I think that, but there are 2 pilot episodes of the US version. They tried it twice and still failed. I've only seen the one. That's got Crichton came back because none of the others. So Crichton plays Crichton, but all the rest are American.
Oh, you put that? Did you put that episode on?
Yeah, I shared the pilot, but then
yeah, I think I've seen that episode. It's not good.
No, it's toned down for a start.
Yeah, well, it's like the In-Betweeners. Have you ever seen the American In-Betweeners?
I didn't watch the American one. I thought, what?
I only watched
no.
one episode. Yeah, they have to tone that down. Like they're only allowed I think they're allowed like one F word an episode, and it's just everything is just totally PG compared to like the UK version.
All right. So let's have a look. Who's the best Holly?
This is like saying who's better, Grandad or Uncle Albert. You know, it's a difficult one. Holly obviously did more.
That one next time.
I can't honestly couldn't pick. I love both of them. Both stand-up comedians as well. I think that's how they found them.
Yeah,
I think Hattie Havage, isn't it? And
Norman,
is it Norman?
Norman Lovett. So yeah, he was in the first 2 seasons. Apparently, he was just going to be a voice originally, but then he threw his toys out, and then they had to put his face on a TV screen. But if you watch it now, they added the TV screens after the fact, so they filmed it first as voiceovers, and then added his TV, spliced it in. But then apparently he was supposed to be in season 3, but he fell out with producers because he didn't want to attend rehearsals in London because he was living in Edinburgh. So they thought, "Fuck you," then, and then recast him.
Oh, I like Hattie Havage better now that you've said
that. But then they got rid of her because all her character was exposition, and Crichton did that anyway, so they got rid of her. I think they came back 1 or 2 of them, didn't they, for a couple of episodes?
Yeah, Series 8 he came back for Series 8, didn't he?
I think so.
Did he?
I think it's 1 episode at least. But
I seem to remember him. People who
like definitely come back in an episode.
Yeah, see, people like Series 8. I can't remember much about. I remember Back in the Red. That episode, I think there was 2, Back in the Red Part 2. Apart from that, I can't remember much about Series 8. I've watched Series 8
season 7. But
like I say, it is.
8.
We were discussing the early years, so if I can't remember, fuck it.
Let's go away from them. Where did I get to? Americans can't do a comedy like us Brits. They can't do well. They don't have dangerous comedy on their TV anymore.
No,
I guess they had HBO for that back in the day. American comedies have gotten soft because they're more about offending someone than making people laugh these days. Yeah, wow, it's happening over here as well.
I'll let you get through a few comments. I've just something I gotta like really.
All right, you keep in your head. The Space Corps director jokes wore thin. Yeah, that did wear thin, definitely. Rimo get it wrong, and then Crichton have to correct him. Favorite series 2 and 3, they were peak for me. 1, 4, and 5 were great, and 6 is when I noticed the drop. Yeah, that's about right. I do like the first 2 because I watched them so many times as a child, or teenager, or old man. There you go. My favorite Dwarf episode is when they go backwards, where everyone speaks backwards. I'm having backwards. What is that one?
Yeah, backwards is quality.
That was probably one of the most famous episodes. But how is it? Yeah, I can never like Tenant. Christopher Nolan stole the idea from Tenant from that. find it now. I thought I had it. No, I got time slides. But do you remember? Oh, I'll let you carry on. I'll get this last comment. And you can. The ending where the cat goes to the bathroom. Yeah. Keep it clean, Echo. Right.
Yeah. So my little rant was like American comedy, Saturday Night Live. Like I never watched Saturday Night Live. I don't think it was ever shown in the UK when we were kids. But
shown here, no.
I've seen some of the stuff that they aired in the 80s back, and there was a recent like so-called sketch, if you can call it that, with the male presenter, and then some trans woman man bit thing comes down on a fucking like, I don't know, she gets wedged down into a seat and she tells a few really bad jokes and then starts to preach about how, equal rights for, I don't know, it's some fucking preachy speech about fucking transgender or something. I don't know what was going on. It was just basically preaching to the audience. And I thought, This is the Saturday Night Live that in the 1980s had a character called Pat, who nobody could define whether it was a man or a woman, and used to have a bit of a joke about it. When things were fun, we used to have a laugh and a joke about things, and now it's like they're basically preaching to the audience about fuck off. It's just fucking ridiculous. You've got that Ramesh guy doing stand-up comedy now, talking about that, mate. He was that whole fucking Sadiq Khan nonsense that they've been plugging. You know what I'm talking about anyway.
Oh, yes.
Maybe some people don't. Ricky might do. But then this Ramesh guy, the Ramesh, the comedian.
Yeah.
He's basically on stage doing his stand-up routine. And at the end, starts to push the government agenda about mate to the audience. And they're just like, this is, you can imagine the sort of audience that this guy's going to get. A bunch of simps, a bunch of cooks, a bunch of fucking PC do-gooders. And they're just like nodding head. Yeah. I'm thinking, can you imagine Ricky Gervais pulling this shit? Can you imagine it? Ricky Gervais or a Jimmy Carr or someone? It'd just be like, what are you doing, man? Just any credibility. Well, he had no credibility. Any credibility he ever had is gone completely. When you start pushing the government's agenda in a stand-up routine, I know this is gone off.
I will push any agenda for any amount of cash.
That's it's disgusting.
Just putting it out now. But one of my favorite shows, UK comedy was better, way better. Well, yeah, what Australian comedies was there? The only one I know is the Paul Hogan show, and that was in the 70s.
I don't know if I've ever seen an Australian comedy. There's a couple of modern ones.
I guess there was Kath and Kim.
Oh, Kath and Kim, yeah, I remember that.
Russell Coit, where he was a spoof of a Outback man. I enjoyed those. He was always getting into trouble.
The best comedy that ever came out of Australia was the Castlemaine Forex adverts. I love them. See, you couldn't have that nowadays. The one where they're going over the bridge and it collapses and then the wife goes...
what's going to rescue the wife?
But we lose some weight out the back. And he goes, "She's good sport, your missus." See, comedy like that, which that would never get shown.
Mate, hang on, I forgot.
Mate, mate, come on.
Yeah,
that's
come on.
Misogynistic, now. Mate.
You can't have jokes.
We're talking about Red Dwarf, weren't we?
I thought so. Right, let's go on something you might know about. Smeg ups. Very popular in the day.
Yeah, I had the Smeg ups and the Smeg outs, was it?
Smeg outs and Smeg ups.
Yeah, I had
double episode.
I had Smeg ups. I had the first one. I didn't get the second one. You can tell this is old because this is before after DVD. These would all be added on the DVD. But with VHS, you have to buy it entirely, pay £10 for a tape just at the cock ups.
Yeah, pretty much. Hour long of side splitting outtakes. They treat for all Smeggies. I forgot to mention they call ourselves Smeggies if you're a fan of Red Dwarf. But you're not that much of a fan that you would go to a Comic-Con and get some
No.
signatures, are you?
No.
No.
I wouldn't. I'd never go to I'd never go to a Comic-Con ever.
No. What about a HorrorCon?
Not with the prices they charge for signatures and.
Well, yeah, that is true.
I mean, I can't justify it.
No.
I understand, like when but some of these bigger names, when they charge like 600, I was like, you're a multi-millionaire. Just turn up, just be kind and just do it for nothing. Just as a one-off.
Yeah, did that £500 if he appears in costume and
like, how much money does he need?
Video. Well, yeah, it's not lack of work. Yeah, apparently Craig Charles and Chris Barry had a frosty relationship between season 2 and 5, but they patched it together for season 6 and onwards.
I always look upon Chris. I think Rimmer and Lister are a bit like me and you. Because Rimmer was always like, he was like looking down his nose at Lister with his scout background and all. He quite often referred to like Lister and his Liverpool background. It's just, I think it's Whitehall where he's talking about, Lister's comparing it to a game of pool in the Eggborough Farms, which is a pub.
Oh yes,
which wasn't a million miles from where I grew up. And he's sitting. He says to Lister, "We're talking about I can't remember the exact words." He goes,
"Yeah,
we're not talking about a game of pool." And he goes, "We're not talking about a game of pool. It's a backstreet scout drinking pit." I was like, that just sounds like something you say to me. Backstreet scout drinking pit.
On the Everton side. It's like when Lister says he goes he went scrumping in the
for cars, yeah.
But he went scrumping for cars. Yeah, but are you going to go out for a Vindaloo and a lager tonight?
No.
No?
I've got pajama bottoms on. I'm going anywhere.
Oh dear. Yeah, one is the old man. So was it the Ibra arms? Is that the
Eggborough Farms.
Eggborough. Oh yeah, I can see that now because it's completely spelt like that.
No, it's AIGBURTH.
Yes. So it's a real pub, and that's where Rob Grant and Doug Naylor used to drink when they were at Liverpool University.
Yeah, although Dave Lister, Craig Charles wouldn't. They mentioned. I don't know if he mentions any other references to like certain actual locations.
I couldn't see anything, but
I think that's the only.
That's the pub that Lister was left under as a baby.
Yeah.
Now, while you're on your soapbox, the main character and the other supporting character are diverse.
Well, I've mentioned this before. I mentioned this on a stream with Dave. Yeah, so obviously 50% of the cast, if you just include the core four, 50% of the cast are black. But there's never one reference throughout the entire whatever I ever saw. There was never ever one reference to the fact that they're black. There's just never mentioned. It's never. If that was made today, it would be definitely be politicized.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's just it didn't need to be mentioned. We didn't have to be told that they were black guys. We're just characters. It was just characters.
Yeah,
that's the way it should be.
It's like the same with because Danny John Jules was in Maid Marian and A Merry Men, where
exactly that was never we never questioned why there was a black guy in like 14th century. We just
he was funny, and she was funny, and she was
the
strong, independent woman of the day.
Exactly, yeah. But we never questioned it. There was never an agenda. We never got like a sort of take you back to the 90s, man.
So have you ever had one of these? A triple fried egg butty with chili sauce and chutney? No.
No. I'm trying to remember which episode this. I'm trying to remember what episode that's from.
It's Yeah, I'm trying to. He has to give one.
He's imagining it, isn't he? Isn't he?
Yeah, he's comparing it between Rimmer and this. It shouldn't work, but it does. Is that the one where Rimmer's going to be switched off, but he's already switched off the other one? No, he's not. It's in the.
He's saying
bedrooms.
He's saying this sandwich is you.
Yeah.
It doesn't work, but put it together. He's drunk. He's absolutely.
Yeah, I can't remember why though. I only watched it the other day. Dr. Impossible, good evening. BBC tried to run a dry run of comedy back then, the late 80s, 99. Rabsy Nesbitt, Bottom, The Day Today, Coogan's Bluff, Spot for Choice. Yeah, we were Spot for Choice back then.
Yeah, but I love Bottom.
We haven't had a brass eye for a while.
Brass eye was too clever for me, brass eye.
There we go. All right. I was going to say The Day Today, but that's the same. No, his level. Hang on. Where is it on? Australia had fast forward in the 80s and 90s, making fun out of other TV shows. I
used to watch a lot. I mean, I was just a soap guy for Australia. When it was come to Australia, I just watched the soaps.
The twins in Neighbours.
Yeah, and Bronwyn. Oh, my favourite in Neighbours was Bronwyn. She was like I was about 12 then. I was like, oh. She went out with Henry. Remember Henry? Jamie McLaughlin. Actually, there used to be an Aussie show in the 80s or the very late 80s called, I think it was called Just for the Record. I think it was like Record Breakers, but it was an Australian version.
Okay, I remember.
They used to show it in the summer holidays in about like 1988 or something. And they also had a kid show called Adventures on Kithera, which was at like a Greek island. And it was a couple of the characters from Home and Away were in it. I think Rebecca Emaloglu, who was also in. Have you ever seen The Beast, the Peter Benchley TV?
Oh, yeah, I like The Beast.
Isn't she in that?
There's
a few of the Home and Away cast in that in The Beast.
Yeah, I think it was filmed in Australia, so yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, where is it? Apparently, Rimmer is not from Earth, but it's from one of Jupiter's moons.
Was it Io?
Yeah, that's it. Well done. See, you know, I could have done a quiz. Now, apparently, Alan Rickman was the first choice to play Rimmer, with Alfred Molina for Lister.
No, I couldn't see that working.
Watch that.
Well, the thing is, if Alan Rickman had got the role by 91 and he's playing the Sheriff of Nottingham, and then he did Die Hard in 88. How's that?
Well, exactly. That's why they didn't get him. He was too much of an actor. Both of them. To be they were successful actors by then, so yeah, they had no chance of getting them for this. Well, they did say, I guess by the mid-seasons, they were apparently the budget. Well, no, I think it was season 3. The budget for like season 3 was for one episode was the same as the entire budget for the Doctor Who season that was on there.
Was that like Sylvester McCoy at that time?
That's it, yeah, one of his last ones.
Yeah, but nobody was watching Doctor Who at that point, were they? I think
no.
that's well, isn't that the one that killed off Doctor Who for all them years?
Yeah,
the Sylvester McCoy series,
just 9 or 10 years. Apparently, there is a TARDIS in an episode of Red Dwarf in season 3. There's a miniature TARDIS in the Starbug landing bay, but it's very hard to spot because they knew they'd be in trouble if anyone saw it.
No, why? It's BBC.
Well, exactly, but they're different departments or something. Apparently, thanks for the memory. There we go. Yeah, because thank you, reading movies. It was Rimmer's death day, and Lister gave him Lisa Yates, and then turns out,
yeah, Dr. Impossible mentions there about Red Dwarf and the iPlayer. I just don't understand why the BBC don't put more. Like, why have they never put Only Fools and Horses on the iPlayer?
Is it still not on there?
No. There's just so much stuff
that controversial.
Like, I'd probably pay for, like, if the BBC had an app like Netflix where everything they've ever done was available to stream, I'd pay for that. Because I imagine like Grange Hill. I'd just binge watch Grange Hill. I mean, holy shit, man. I'd watch old episode of Biker Grove.
Me. Yeah. What's Zamos chased the dragon and got smacked in the mouth.
I mean,
Yeah,
that was
that's
the
going to
80s.
play today. Aren't they bringing back Grange Hill?
No, they're bringing back Biker Grove.
Oh, I'm Biker Grove. I think they're doing Grange Hill as well.
Maybe they are. I know Biker Grove's going to be shown of an evening. Make it a bit slightly more adult. But it'll probably be less adult than what Biker Grove was when it was
because I think back then they did a lot of stuff, didn't they?
Yeah.
They did a lot of not suitable for the modern audience stuff these days.
I mean, Grange Hill back in the day, that was like groundbreaking. I mean, it was like 4:30 to be like, the mysterious cities of gold. And then and half an hour later, you've got Zamo shooting up in an arcade. It's just like...
That is true, because it was at 5. Yeah, it would have been at
10
after 5.
It was 10 past. It was 10 past. News round was 5 o'clock.
Just after John Craven's news round, yeah.
Yeah, John Craven's news round. Then 10 past 5, Grange Hill, and then 5:35, Neighbours.
There's your day set.
Couldn't beat it.
After you've just woken up at 4. Right.
I did go to school,
Did you?
I did.
Probably passed more exams than I did.
Yeah, that was it.
I got 1 GCSE. Right. Just for the record, was on ITV. There you go. Oh, hang on. Did I miss one? Oh, yeah, there you go. So, yeah. All back half of 9 seasons, including the proper stuff. So they're missing...
No, they've got everything. I've
got
it here, yeah. 12. Well, I've got the iPlayer up here now, and it's got 12, right up 12, and then special.
So the specials, yeah. Everything. I guess 13 is the specials. Oh, yeah, it's a one-off from 2020 called The Promised Land.
Yeah, they've got The Promised Land. They've got Season 12,
Series I think I've 12, seen that.
Series 11, Series 10, all there.
No, I've never seen that.
I said season then. I slipped into Americanisms.
Yeah, have a go. Fucking me. I noticed you said it the other night on one of your streams.
I've been trying to stick to... If it's a British show, I try and say series. Even though season actually makes more sense. Because Red Dwarf is a TV series. So series 3, doesn't actually make that much sense because you're talking about one show.
8 episodes.
Season actually makes more sense than series, but I've got to stick to the British roots,
Yeah.
But if I'm talking about American show, I'll quite happily say season.
So yeah, was it after season 6 or even probably before then? They were always talking about a film, but they never made one. And then they used aspects of it for some of the specials, apparently, in the books. But yeah, so Ed By was the director. Breaking my H. But he was absent for one series because he was working with his wife, who is the American comedian Ruby Wax had a series then, so he was working on that show.
Yeah. Ruby Wax was in which episode? Oh, the time slides.
Time slides. Yeah.
Is it time slides?
That's it. Well done. See, Charmida.
Can you remember what episode Don Warrington from Rise and Damp was in?
He's a hologram. And then, he's reporting back to the hollow ship. And, threatened with a hollow whip. But, I can't think. Yeah, but it's one with Rimmer gives up his seat on the hollow ship because Jane Horrocks was nice to him. The BBC is in a quandary over what it can show without cancelling itself. They can't show Little Britain without adding Abbott's. Yeah, that's less than 10 years old, isn't it?
And Fools and Horses has got there's elements of that where not even so much. There's obviously stuff that they wouldn't be able to get away with now, but there's all kind of problems with copyright and stuff. Because Royal Flush from the mid-80s, there's whole chunks of that cut out on the BBC when they repeat it. And I don't know why, because it's their show, but the scenes like where they go to the opera and there's entire bits of dialogue which are just gone.
Yeah.
And it's to do with some sort of copyright issue. I don't know why, because obviously the BBC, it's a BBC show and they're repeating it, but they can't repeat the whole episode. And obviously there's stuff, from especially the early 80s, which they never show now, because unless you've got to have it on VHS. If you've got the VHS early Fools and Horses,
I've got most of the
most. There's stuff in there which wouldn't fly 2023, but it's not offensive.
A 40-year-old show is not good enough for the modern audience. But yeah, that's our next one. We were covering only Fools and Horses up until the Jolly Boys outing.
Yeah, I'll definitely be down for that. Yeah, anything after the Jollies, but yeah, again, 80s only.
You said the 90s were wonderful a minute ago.
The 90s were wonderful as a decade, but Fools and Horses, for me, it's an 80s show. It's not a 90s show.
So yeah, they did steal a lot of stuff from films and TV at the time, like RoboCop, Terminator, and all sorts of stuff. And then I don't know how they got away with some of
that. The Last Day.
Tiny RoboCop.
Is it The Last Day where Crichton's replacement turns up?
Oh yes.
Like the giant cyborg guy. That's just totally just like a mishmash of all those sort of like late 80s sort of like cyborg movies, isn't it?
Oh yes. According to Doug Naylor, he originally wanted Christopher Lloyd or Stephen Wright for the part of Lister.
Who?
Stephen Wright. He was a stand-up comedian. I think he's the DJ in Reservoir Dogs that plays the songs. He's got a large and rise and he's like that. If you want to listen to Stuck in the Middle with You. But yeah, he was a comedian in the 80s. Yeah, because what's Dr. Impossible got? I miss kids' TV from the 70s. Shadows was brilliant. Children of the Stone and King of the Castle shows back then were well written and more adult in content. Yeah, I remember Children of the Stone.
That's on my watch list because it's from the 70s. It is on YouTube, so it's on my watch list to watch that. It looks really good.
Because we had some dark stuff in the 80s with Chucky's Children. I can't remember much about it. I know it was dark and sci-fi, and kids were involved. But then we had what's the kid with the boots?
I used to love
Geordie.
You would have seen all these. Do you remember the Children's Film Foundation films?
Oh, yes.
Like the early 80s. I love them. They used to put them on. They repeated them on the BBC. The CITV repeated them all in like the late 80s.
Oh,
there's one called like Mysterious Island and Terry on the Fence, things like that. Oh, great show. They were great movies. They're all like made in like sort of like mid 70s to like early 80s. I used to love them.
What's the one with Melvin Hayes and a group of kids on a double-decker bus? Which wouldn't fly.
Oh, I can't remember.
Yeah,
I remember all those. Did you have it when you went in school? Remember, like The Boy from Space and Dark Towers. Used to. You're a bit older than me, but like we used to watch them in school. And he'd wheel in the TV on wheels. Remember the TV on wheels?
And it had the shades on it, so you could.
Yeah. You knew that was good. That was going to be a good class. You're just going to sit back and watch a bit of TV. I used to love that.
Yeah, so that was a good one. He's showing our age now. Kids with their tablets. Oh yeah,
TV on wheels.
Yeah, it was very rare it happened, but it was welcome. Yeah, we might learn something from history.
Well, even if you think about it, like forget a little bit. Come Fly With Me. That's even more recent, and you could not get away with anything in that now. That's just it's just Matt Lucas in blackface, and it's just David Williams impersonating a Chinese person. It's just
and the fat.
Yeah.
Okay, explain this one. So it starts off that Rimmer's a hologram, but it never says how he's projected because you just wander around the whole ship and he's there. Double deckers. Thank you, Dr. Impossible. That's the one. Makes sense with a double decker bus. He can walk through walls and people. But then later in the series, it turns out he's got this little piece of plastic that floats around inside him, projecting him. So how does that get through the walls and people?
Yeah. And then he gets his hard light drive in
yeah, that's just a
season...
cop-out, really, isn't it?
Was it 5 or 6 he gets that?
That's Legion, isn't it? Yeah, 6.
So that's 6.
5 or 6,
yeah.
Like
yeah, they conveniently forget these are hologram in certain episodes. Like, because I think it's the last day where he gets drunk. Well, he gets drunk in a couple of different episodes, and I was like, how does a hologram get drunk exactly?
Yeah, there's a lot of inconsistencies. It's like the same with the polymorph episode that sticks its thing to his head and sucks his whatever is out, his anger, to becomes a modern person. I'm thinking of a leaflet campaign.
Oh yeah.
Hey Jay, we were just talking about you, of course.
Mate. Don't be misogynistic tonight, mate.
No, mate. That was wrong. You can't say that, mate.
I commented on his oh no, it was I watched a live reaction to like that whole campaign thing, which I keep going on about, but it's like I said in the comment section, I said if I had said mate to one of my mates for saying something about women's football, I'd get absolutely destroyed. And I said, and rightly so. It's just like they just look at me and go, what the fuck are you talking about?
Stab him. But yes, so Jay is live Tuesday night at 9, I believe. Well, someone else's face is on his channel now, so don't want to look at Jay's page on the thumbnail. It's someone else, some G-man. So yeah, apparently Rob Grant and Doug Naylor were disappointed with the cheap uniform grey color scheme that was the first 2 series. So then they brought in someone else, Mel Bibby, to do their costumes. I made them more sci-fi and colorful.
Yeah, because that's when it's series 33 when Rimmer starts to wear, the reds and the greens and whatnot, isn't it?
So just like Captain Scarlet.
Yeah. Captain Emerald, as he's called. By
yes. Oh yeah, so Kachansky's later incarnation is apparently from a different universe to Lister's original Kachansky. That's why she looks and talks different. But not that it ever told us.
So they invented the multiverse before the MCU, basically.
Yeah, and apparently, if you've the start of season 3, if you read the crawl, it explains that why Crichton's different, because he crashed Lister's space bike, and then Lister had to put him back together again, and he didn't put him together right. So that's why he's a completely different actor and character and all sorts. And then Kachansky wore a PVC costume in the 7th series, inspired by Emma Peel's costume in The Avengers. So that wouldn't fly today either.
Well, hair being attractive wouldn't fly today, to be fair.
Well, yeah, exactly. Kind of.
I mean, she'd probably have a skinhead and, I don't know, old-age feminist.
So apparently, Craig Charles' dreadlocks in the original first season, the real or first series, which one we were doing, but then they were a hairpiece for the later series.
Yeah, I think because he just gets rid of them all together for some of the series.
Yeah, they just
doesn't he grow them back though again in some of the late? I forget. I'm sure in the early series he's got just the short hair, hasn't he? I've only seen these episodes like the last couple of weeks, and
he has this. I guess he wears the hat a lot, so it hides them.
Yeah,
but he does wear them. I think was it season 2 or 3 there, Rimmer takes over his body and cuts them off. But I don't know if I thought they came back after that, but I can't remember now. Don't know how. See, there's not much. Well, there's 100 different things. So you got was it Ace Rimmer was voiced after Sean Connery.
Yeah, you can see. I can see that.
All right, I got a quiz for you. How many times did Robert Llewellyn appear without Crichton makeup throughout the series?
Well, at least once, because I remember the one when he becomes human.
Yeah.
Are we talking about the entire series?
Yeah.
Oh, so if it does, if it anything after I'm not going to remember.
You're going to pick a number?
I say twice.
4 times. Because he appears on a video, I think, before he becomes Crichton.
Oh, of course, he's in with Ace Rimmer.
He's in Ace Rimmer as well.
He's not playing Crichton. No, he's not playing Crichton, now, is he? You said Peter Magic. You did say Robert Llewellyn. You didn't say Crichton.
I didn't say Crichton. I said.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Robert
he plays
Llewellyn, please.
Yeah, he plays Bongo. Yeah, he plays Bongo, doesn't he?
Bongo. And then he was in the video in the early season before he became Crichton, and he's Crichton when he was human in DNA, and then he's dated Doctor in Back in the Red in 1999, but I don't remember that one.
I did watch it, but I watched it once and never again. So
yeah, I can't say I've seen it. I don't remember what happens in it. And of course, I know you're a big Coronation Street fan, so that's where you've been catching up with Craig Charles since then.
Yeah, he's left that since, but
here's how much I know about that.
He left about 4 years ago.
Oh, was it? Oh. Okay. Oh, hang on, I'm way behind. Hang on,
I think he's still got a radio. He's got a radio show, or he did on Radio 6. I don't know if he still does.
Of course he does, yeah. He's been to Western Supermare a few times to do his music DJing.
Do you remember what was that show in the 90s? It was like they had like robots battling each other. And I used to go, Awooga, Awooga. Robot was that what it was called?
No, it's not Robot Wars, no.
It was like the
yeah, it was short-lived, that one.
Did he do like a virtual reality show, TV show?
Yeah, that's the one you're thinking of, isn't it?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah,
it's a gaming show.
What was it called? What was that called again? That was when virtual reality was going to be like the next big thing, and it was at that time it was just crap.
It's not improved. So yeah, he was a poet before he got Red Dwarf. Let's have a look. Where is it? Oh, him and female Holly appeared in an episode of Lex, the TV show from 2001. He's been in an episode of The Bill.
He also did Ghost Watch, don't forget.
Yeah, Ghost Watch. Oh, where's it gone? What year are we looking at? No? Oh, it's not. That's actors, not. Oh, doesn't mention it. Holby City, Dream Team. I'm guessing you used to watch that.
Nope. Sky One. No, I didn't watch that.
Okay. He's done an episode of EastEnders. Where is it?
I'm surprised he was never in Brookside.
Exactly. What? No, it doesn't say.
So that TV show. There's no mention of that TV show. Well, that was later.
No,
that was Robot Wars was like a 2000s thing.
Who was in that? Was it him?
Well, Games Master was Dominic Diamond, wasn't it? And and Dexter Fletcher.
Cyberzone in 1993. There it is.
Okay.
Because in Dimension Jump, Lister and Ace shout "Awooga, Awooga," which was his catchphrase in Cyberzone. Thank you, Sheena. You noticed. No one else noticed. Series 1 and 2, he was only on ship or in a projection cage. That's very true. Yeah, when he went to that moon, he had to be in a cage to display him. Forgot about that. Yeah, and then They thought, fuck it, you can just be projected anyway with this little device.
He's still getting drunk in that episode.
I guess it's programming. I don't know. But yeah, it's how. Yeah, he's getting drunk in the cage, isn't he?
Is that's thanks for the memory, isn't it? When he wakes up and he's told Lister how many women he's slept with.
Yes.
He's got the hangover. Yeah.
Right. So I don't think I've got. What's your favorite episode then, or one of them?
Back to Reality's one is up there. It's probably like one of the smartest, most well written episodes. Everything about that episode is just like works, you know. I like Timothy Spall in that as well. It's just like so just dismisses of it, just like
you've only playing the idiots version all this time.
He just like Rimmer just looks at it and goes, "How are we supposed to know that, you brubby git?" It's just,
yes,
I don't know. I mean, I think series 4 is the strongest in terms of like the episodes that it reaches a tie bar there.
Yeah,
that's my favorite series of the 6 is 4.
Where is it? What was that? Season 4. What did it have? It had
Justice.
Oh, Camille with the non-binary character. So is that your favorite? DNA, Justice, White Hole, Dimension Jump, and Meltdown. Oh yeah, a daylight charge across the minefield. They won't be expecting that.
Meltdown is up there, definitely.
There's only 2 kinds from a CC: steers and queers. Which are you, boy? Yeah, it goes full on mental, that one. But yeah. I do love that one. They just shot Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. But like we've said from the beginning, the first 6 series.
You just know if they were to do like a modern version of like Meltdown, you know, the Hitler character would probably be played by Donald Trump. Because he's a lot worse than Hitler.
Sheena. I watched Little Princess last night.
It'd be Donald Trump, J.K. Rowling as the bad guys.
Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it? Oh, now we're on to something. I've never seen a Little Princess. Mike, have you seen a Little Princess from the movie from the 90s? No, I've got the VHS, but I never watched it. Right, let's wrap this up then. If you're done.
Yeah.
Are you live later?
I should be. I mean, Dave's backed out, so JT said he'll be there, but you know, we know with JT. He has been streaming today, so that's usually a good sign.
It is a good sign if he's up now. He's probably streaming right now, so like. But yeah, apart from that, and then what else have you got?
Nothing scheduled till October at the minute. What?
Yes, the big month for horror people. So yeah, he was playing Elden Ring up 9 minutes ago.
What's the topic in October for your channel?
Horror, probably.
Oh well, so I'll have to put a request in.
Yes, any requests? Because well, Dave's already put. Well, we're doing Faculty in September, and we're doing a Lost Boys Friday night.
Have you ever done Halloween?
Huh?
Have you ever done Halloween as a watch party or?
No. Well, I'm doing that with someone else.
Oh, I should have known that'd be taken.
Of course, yeah. Well, we're doing Halloween 2 this month. Sorry, Halloween H2O this month. I think we started at 4. We did 5, 6. Now we're on Halloween 20, but we'll see.
I'll think of something.
Yeah, well, yeah. There's a stack of stuff here. Aliens versus Predator 2.
No.
I've
never even seen that film. No.
No,
it's not the best.
Just what I can see in this light. Underworld. Anyway, so yeah, I'll see you in a few hours then.
Yeah.
Or are you going to delay it 20 minutes or 30 minutes like you did the other night?
Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
All right. Let's
Okay.
there's one last comment, and then I can take this H off my head. Casually waiting for the video on Dracula 1931, Bela Lugosi. Now, are you a fan of the old ones?
No. I mean, I've never seen it, so I honestly, but I just think it's a little bit too old for me. I'd probably pretend I enjoyed it to look cool, but I'll be like, oh.
Nice.
I think 60s is as far back as I'll go. 50s. 50s.
Oh, 50s now. Oh, yeah, because Hammer started in the 50s proper.
Because I think The Thing from Another World is the 50s.
Yeah, that's 50s.
And I love that film. So.
Oh, there you go. So, thanks for Mike for joining me, and we'll try and tackle Only Fools and Horses next time.
Absolutely.
So we can get on his soapbox about that one. Right. Take care, everyone. Thanks, Mike.
Bye, guys.